I liked in the book is that she brought out that it's so many contradictions. So, what you have to do to be a good girl is you have to be quiet, you have to speak up, you can't say anything that's not ladylike. But if you say something that's not ladylike, you're butch or you're a tomboy. And then people are surprised that you said something that wasn't polite or ladylike. They want you to be a sex kitten in the bedroom, be virginal, and be so sweet and pure all the rest of the time. It's such a contradiction that you have to have this amazing, fulfilling career. Then you also have to be a mom. And if you're a woman, you're automatically characterized as like, you have to be a mom. Like, not everybody's meant to be a mom. that's why there's other people in the
Not
world.
everyone's a good mom.
Right. Like it's so crazy. So it's like, but you can't just be a mom. Like giving birth apparently isn't enough. Like you have to be the soccer mom that bakes all the goodies for the sale, gets it there on time. When you're in the car line, you have your hair done, your makeup done. You're pleasant first thing in the morning. You're always willing to help the PTA and donate your money and time. And if you can't do that, you're a terrible person. And it's ridiculous. There's no way that anybody can live up to those unreal expectations. And I feel that on the daily. I call it the superwoman syndrome, that you have to be a wife, be a mom, be a daughter, be a sister, be a best friend, be a coworker, be a boss, be everything. And no person can live up to those expectations. Not any woman, not any man. It doesn't matter who you are, where you came from. Nobody can have all of that going well all the time. It doesn't happen.
Well, and it's like I for the longest time, I would be made to feel guilty to take a day off.
Yep.
And that carried over for me, and I did that for a very long time.
Yeah.
Where I kept craving, like Sunday, I would just crash. Like Sunday, I was like, no, I need a day for me.
Yeah.
And everyone else would be like, well, I don't have a day off. And I'm like, really? You don't have time to take care of yourself? So we're all doing this to ourselves? Like,
that doesn't seem right. That's absolutely crazy.
Somehow, right? Like even like every ancient scripture has like a holy day to take the day off and rest. And I'm pretty sure that doesn't say like only the men get to take the day off and the women should still be cooking. No, it's everyone takes the day off.
Mm-hmm.
And so what if we were to start allowing ourselves to do that, to really like say, okay, Saturday, I'm going to prep everything so I don't even have to cook on Sunday.
Yeah.
You know, for example, if Sunday's your day. And just to spend a whole day journaling and meditating. And what if we really did turn off all the technology for the whole day?
Yeah.
Like, what if we didn't even sit and binge on Netflix or social media? What if we like really authentically took a day off to just sit with ourselves and build our self relationship? Maybe it's taking the bath and taking the walk and just sleeping if you need to sleep. And and not like, what if we could infuse that into our culture again?
Absolutely.
Have a spiritual day, like even if you're not religious, like just to have a spiritual day.
Mm-hmm.
Because you are a spirit, right? Like
absolutely,
you have a spirit, therefore you are a spiritual being. And you deserve some recognition for holding all of this energy.
Yes, for sure. And you know, what you just said a few minutes ago about how you felt guilty about taking a day off. I recently came up with that same problem, that I was working exactly what I was supposed to work. I was working from like 9 to 6 each day. and I would clock out at 6 p.m. And then there was a comment made that, well, you know, if you're not working over 40 hours a week, then maybe you're not dedicated. And I thought, if I'm meeting all of the contractual requirements of my job, how is it my fault that I have good boundaries and say, you know what, after 6 p.m., I'm not available? I'm working my 8 hours and I'm done. How come I feel guilt about other people not having good boundaries? Like that, how backwards is that?
Well, and you know how I feel about boundaries.
Like, it's crazy. And I feel
so many people are lacking boundaries, and I feel like the pressure gets put
Hey, Laura.
on. Hey, the pressure gets put on women even more with boundaries.
Yes.
Because we are expected to do so much. But I see this in the business world a lot, where people are sending emails to me from 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. And I'm like,
or later.
What?
Or earlier.
Why
like,
are you working that late? Like,
yeah.
Like, you all know how to get a hold of me if it's an emergency.
Right.
But like, there is my work time and there is my me time. And I'm not going to be doing everything all the same time. Like, I am a firm believer in time blocking and really telling someone, like, no, like clients, oh my gosh, clients that will say, hey, can I meet you at this time? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And then 1 hour before, they're like, oh, I need to reschedule for another day.
Yeah, that's frustrating.
Or even people that they'll want to meet with you and they just want to take your whole day. Like, you have nothing else to do when we're already expected to do so much. It's like, I have kids. Like, and I am in no way saying that I am the best at this, because I am
100% not. 100% not.
I am speaking from this because I have been there and done it. Like, I just finished my MBA while running my own business during switching it over to online from COVID.
Yeah.
2 kids, like, dealing with relationship issues. We had deaths in the family. Like, I mean, it was absolutely insane.
Yeah.
And during all of that, I was not allowed to lose my cool. I was not allowed to take a week off.
Yeah.
I had to keep it going. But the only way I was able to do that was to squeeze in my self-care and to firmly say no to a lot of things. And I really had to put these self-care practices into play. Like, I every day would take 2 different 20-minute meditation breaks where I would lay in my bed, and heaven forbid if anybody came in there, because I would have ripped their heads off. The kids, I'd set the timer and I'd be like, mommy's gonna meditate for a little bit.
Yep.
And they would come in and I'd be like,
nope.
Or I would just completely ignore them and they'd be like crying and poking me. I'm like, nope.
Mommy needs this time.
Yes. And boundaries are set because we have to set them. Leo, I'm on a live video right now. Like, this is Mom World.
Yeah. Real life is still happening.
Yeah, real life.
Yeah.
So one thing I'd like to shift this into, like, so we talked about like what it is to be a good girl and this like very yo-yo all over the place. They want us to be multiple personalities. They want us to be 5 people at the same time. Not possible. But at an even deeper level, I love that she mentions these silent agreements.
Yes.
These silent agreements to the point where we don't know ourselves and we don't want to be ourselves because we don't know ourselves.
Exactly.
But we develop this habit of trying and failing to live up to impossible standards. And these invisible threads of agreements handed down silently through the experience of my female ancestors.
Right. And like going back to what you just said, and again, the book is The Warrior Goddess Way. It is a great book. It's not huge. It's definitely doable. I have my iPad. I'm a
That's
tech girl,
okay.
so I have everything on
I'm
my
the
iPad.
physical book. She's the digital book.
But
This is how we balance each other out.
but I love that I feel like I'm having a conversation with her, and where I was probably like in November of last year when I had to have major foot surgery was like I couldn't do any of those things that I thought I had to do. I couldn't be the soccer mom. I couldn't go to work. I couldn't get up and clean or cook or do anything. Like I was literally stuck in bed having to learn kind of how to re-walk again from having this foot surgery. And it really dawned on me that I didn't even know who I was without doing those things. Like I couldn't describe myself without saying, I'm mom, I'm a wife, I'm a whatever. Like I work here, I do this. Like those aren't who you are. And I never took the time. I was too busy trying to have my career, trying to be a mom, trying to be a daughter, trying to be a bestie, trying to be all these people. And I didn't even know who I really was. And so this book is great because she starts off at the same level that we are. And what drew me to this is how she describes what warrior and goddess energy really are. And I never really thought about it before. Those are two words that you hear a lot. You may not always hear them together, but you hear them, you hear goddess a lot, but her definitions are incredible. So she says that warrior energy is our power, focus, dedication, purpose, and determination. When we harness our warrior energy, we are confident, clear, and bring 100% of ourselves to each action. So yeah, that sounds like a total kick-ass warrior. Like that is like you are doing it. You are doing it all, and you are doing it all with a purpose. The goddess energy that she talks about is our creative flow, like our unconditional love, pleasure, passion, wisdom. And when we claim our goddess energy, we are living in joyful self-acceptance, self-respect, and listening to our innermost knowing. And for me, I was like, I don't even know what those things are, like in relation to myself. And so that's what drew me in to begin with, because I was like, that all sounds like things that I wish people would describe about me. Like if they saw me, or if they had to describe me and they couldn't say mom, wife, daughter, sister, whatever, that they would use words like unconditional love, or that she had inner wisdom and she was dedicated and focused. I mean, who wouldn't want to be described like that versus like, yeah, she's a mom and she's a wife, and those are things that you do. Those aren't things that that's not who you are.
Yeah, and I think it's so great, and it's so important for us as warrior goddesses to really learn this and develop this too, because we can be the spark that then gives other women compliments. Because, and we'll talk about this, if not tonight, we'll talk about this in another talk.
Yeah.
How the world of women's relationships has not been supportive. It's been so competitive, and it's this world full of women tearing women down, and we need to stop that nip it in the bud, and we need to be supporting each other and banding together like it used to be in tribal times. And that is one thing I do love about Heather Ashe. She comes from like the Four Noble Truths. She comes from this very like shamanic background, but she's also a yoga teacher, and so I can totally relate to a lot of her teachings because with my yoga background, and if you need to dive more into this mindset philosophy, go on to figleafyoga.com. I've got the Yoga Sutra. It's like a little mini course for free where we did this a little while back. And it really dives into very similar, but it's breaking it down more to the mindset. So like in the Yoga Sutras, it talks about like, we want nonviolence. We want to tell the truth. We want to like help others and dedicate our lives to others. But first and foremost, you do not disturb your peace. It's like, no. Your peace is very important.
Yeah.
You do not disturb that. Like if someone asks you something and if it's going to disturb your peace, you don't do it. But if it's not going to disturb your peace, because often doing things makes us feel good, but we also know, and I know you all know this, when someone asks you to do something and you really want to say no, because you know you are just so damn tired.
Yep.
And you want to say no, but you say yes anyways.
Yeah.
And then the whole time you're doing it,
you hate it. You
hate it.
You hate it.
You're feeling condescending towards this person, like, and it would have been just so much better to say, I really want to do this for you, but I can't right now because I am exhausted and I really need to take a break.
It all goes back to protecting your energy. And it took me so long to figure that out because I got so mad that every day I would wake up, I would be in a good mood, I'm rested, I'm refreshed, I'm bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and I go into work, and then my energy meter gets all the way depleted.
I'm gonna play my musical instrument.
I'm doing a live.
It's all the way
He's just
depleted.
Not getting it tonight. He's not.
It's okay.
But yes,
but it gets all the way depleted before you even get home. And the people that you want to give your good energy to, you want to have your best energy for, are at home. They're your family. They're your friends. And by the time I got home, I didn't have energy for anybody. Not just my family and friends, but for me, I didn't have time for nothing. Like it was all.
Oh, girl, gone. And that is a whole nother conversation. And this is for men and women. Oh my gosh, we're somehow, and I know this is definitely true in my family, and you know, you all let me know if this is true for yours. I'd be very interested to hear how this is playing a part in so many other people's lives, where somehow we think it's okay to be mean to the people in our family or to let loose and let them see our most raw negative self. But then we put on this face for all these other people.
Yeah.
And then it creates this turmoil and this energy at home. And really, like, I don't know why or how this ever got started, but really it's the people at home, the people that you were spending the rest of your life with unconditionally, that are going to remember every mean, bad thing you've ever said. Yes, you need to protect your energy because you need to save your good stuff for the people that are going to be in your life forever. And they need to do that for you too.
Well, and I think that comes down, and again, this will be in future conversations that we have as well, but it comes down to being your authenticity. Because you, in some area, if you're putting on a show somewhere, you're not being authentic to yourself. And it really comes from knowing who you are to begin with and being okay with that. That's what I love, is this very first chapter is all about wisdom, and it's all about the wisdom of presence. And there's so many things inside of here that are so easy that you can take and pick up and use today. So like one of the things that she had as an activity was saying these two statements and then figuring out how you felt about each of those statements. So let us know in the comments what you guys think about this, but I'm going to read these sentences out loud and just feel this energy and tell us which one, what did it feel like to you when you heard this? So the first sentence says, to change who I am, I need to punish myself for who I am now. The second sentence says, to change who I am, I begin by accepting myself for who I am now. And she talks about that it's a paradox, and it totally is, because for people that don't feel that they're skinny enough or pretty enough or whatever, this is all makeup for me tonight. Like, I wanted to feel good and be in my goddess self for me to be able to talk. But normally my hair is not done. It's in a ponytail. I'm in a tie-dye t-shirt, no makeup on. But there was a difference. Like, I was putting that on for other people. And for this, I'm putting it on for me. And I loved that she said, to change who I am, I begin by accepting myself for who I am now. Because it's not when you lose 10 pounds. It's not when your acne clears up. It's not when you get Alexis. It's not when you have 3 kids. It's now. It's loving yourself right now is going to help change you more than being like, well, I gotta wait until I lose that 10 pounds, or I can't do that right now. I can't starve myself. I can't afford Alexis. I can't do any of this. It starts with who you are right this second. Like, it doesn't matter.
Like, yeah. Well, and the thing is so this happened with me for sure too. Like, I used to be scared to put makeup on and earrings and get dressed up because I didn't want to be seen as a certain person, like for people to judge me in that way.
Yeah.
Like, and some people are the opposite. Some people are, I don't want to be seen without my makeup and all of this because I don't want people to think of me in that way. So it goes both ways.
Right.
For me, my mentality was that I didn't want to be seen as the pretty girl because of my past experiences within my family, which was I was constantly told, honey, all you have to do is just be pretty. Just be pretty, get yourself a man, keep quiet. And I rebelled against that so much that I went in the complete opposite direction into another unhealthy space where I was like, no, I'm going to study and I'm going to I'm not going to care about my looks. But I did feel really good when I would get dressed up. And it took me a long time for me to own that I can wear the makeup. I can get dressed up every day and I don't have to have somewhere to go. I can get dressed up just because I want to look in the mirror and I want to feel confident and I want to feel like I'm really expressing myself. And I can be the pretty girl and the smart girl. I can be both.
Yes.
And to, my father who wanted me to get lipo and a boob job before I started dating, I then at that point rolled my eyes and was just like, whatever, like seriously, like it no longer bothered me. And in the past, oh my gosh, like as a teenager, like I gained the littlest bit of weight and my dad would tell me I was getting fat. And so like I grew up in that world, and I am not saying anything wrong about my dad. My dad is a lovely person. That's just, he's repeating how he grew up. So that's just family karma that does the same. And my mom was the same way. She was like, I might as well just die at the age of 40 because I'm old and wrinkly by then.
It's so crazy. Oh my God.
So I rebelled against that. So, I mean, that was my story. And we each have our own story, right? And that's an important thing to really recognize, is that we all are going to have a different version. Some of us might have very similar versions of what the perfect mom looks like. And we might be judging other people and we're comparing ourselves to other people. And just because another mom looks like the perfect mom, she might also be spinning out of control. She might be taking her kids' medicine to keep, up the energy up. I don't do
Yeah.
that. But I just drink
Don't do
way
drugs,
too
kids.
much coffee.
Yeah.
Way too much coffee. Like urinary infection because I drink so much coffee. Like, let's be real, girls. Don't do it. It's bad. There are other ways to get more energy, and I can tell you about those another time too.
Yes, you can.
Nutrition, like just nutrition and actually sleeping. And
Sleeping is
stress
good.
management.
Yes.
And stress management. Like, because often, like, if you're multitasking all the time, mentally multitasking, I want to clarify that because I am a kinesiologist, sports medicine person. Multitasking with the body is a good thing. Multitasking with your brain is not a good thing. And in fact, that is the quickest way to burn yourself out.
Yeah.
And deplete your energy. So noticing though, like this comparing is what puts us in self-judgment.
Yes.
And so if you notice yourself judging, comparing others, then you are doing it to yourself. You might be doing it at a very subconscious level, but you are doing that. So you need to have compassion for yourself and just saying, like, I'm doing my best. What if we all just do our best? And that the best is going to fluctuate.
Yes.
Like, I am not going to lie. Like, dinner, there's some nights, like, it's like, guys, you want Chick-fil-A? Like, because mama doesn't have the energy. I am single mama. I am not cooking dinner every single night. Nope, it's not happening. So, like, I was very impressed. Leo asked for Impossible Burgers. I said, like,
Hey.
Right? Like, they're meatless. So his dad has gone vegan. If you all know that it's just weird. Props, but weird. This is his little 19-year-old girlfriend. I think helped him go vegan. But I am very supportive to her. I am. I love her. I will text her. I will call her. Like, props to her. I don't like him, but that's a whole nother story. Y'all just join the tribe. You'll hear all of my stuff.
You hear all about it.
Hear a lot, but that's what this is for. This is for all of us. Like, life is real.
Yes.
I have learned a lot because I have lived life on hyperdrive. Very much. Like, I've probably got double the time in. Don't recommend it. Lots of lessons learned really quick. And that's what I try to do. I try to learn lessons really quick, and I try to have grace with myself. And I loved when I was going through business school and we talked about design thinking, and I sent Larissa a lot of these things. And often the businesses that do best are the ones that allow themselves to fail fast. They test things out. They say, oh, that didn't work. They do not sit there and fret about it. They're like, well, that one didn't work. What did we learn from it? Okay, this is what we learned. Let's go fail again.
Right.
And they fail fast is what they recommend. And a lot of times we sit and beat ourselves up for our failures. There's no point. There's no point. It'd be like, whew, well, yesterday didn't go well. What did I learn from that? Okay, well, I learned, I'm no longer going to give the kids ice cream before they take their showers. Oh my God.
That's a mom lesson right there.
Mom lesson. I learned when to say no to people like that, or I learned that I need to communicate this part better.
Yes.
It's not that you failed. Like, let fail be a good word. Like,
yes,
because we're going to fail. We learn through our failures. We should be learning through our failures, and learn to fail fast. Pick yourself back up and keep going, because if you sit and like sweat the small stuff, then you're spending all this time sweating and
Not getting anything
I don't
for
like
it.
to sit in my own sweat.
It's so crazy because we think that the faster we go, it's like the faster we're going to get to the right place, when really going to all the wrong places sometimes teaches you way more of a lesson than actually getting to the right place, like,
Well,
the first time.
yes. And so
And
that comes back to, like, when we're in survival mode, because that's what that is. Us
yes,
trying to be the good girl or be the best at this and be the best at that. Like, we're not allowing ourselves to get into thrive mode. We're staying in survival mode. And if you're staying in survival mode, we tend not to get intentional about what we want.
yes,
Because we also are sit there judging ourselves and telling ourselves we're not worthy of that. Like, who am I to want that? Like, who am I to want to make 200 to 300,000 per year? Oh my gosh, people are gonna judge me. Like,
yeah.
or I'm gonna seem like egotistical for wanting that. No, because do you know why I want that? No, you don't. So don't even worry. Your opinion doesn't matter. Like, like Larissa, I know you know, like,
I do.
oh my gosh, like the amazing things I could do for myself, my others, my friends, my families, other women, like the business that we could build, like all of these things, like there is so much good that can happen for that. So anytime you feel like you feel yourself doing that little like judge, ask yourself, like, do you really know? Because often we don't. But coming back to that main point is, a lot of times we don't set intentions of where we want to go because we don't feel worthy.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest way to manifest a life of abundance and to get into the flow of things, which is what we specialize in, right? Like, to get into that abundance mindset, you got to let go of all that judgment. Like,
You have to love yourself.
You have to
You
love yourself.
have to love yourself.
You have to daydream. Like, you have to daydream like none other. If you start daydreaming about your dream house, and I talk to women about this all the time, and they'll tell me what their dream house is, and I'm like, honey, you are dreaming way too small. I'm like, I'm like, it'll be like, and I talk to women like, well, how much money do you want to make per month? And they're like, well, I just need. And I'm like, as soon as they start with that, I'm like, go ahead and tell me, because I'm getting ready to shoot it down. They'll be like, I just need $2,000 per month. I said, okay, well, what about your savings account, vacation? What about taking care of you? What about kids' college? No, $2,000 a month is not going to cut it.
That's paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, you are asking and trying to manifest limitations.
Yeah. So me and Addie both have 2 popsicles.
No more popsicles tonight. It is too late for popsicles.
And I think another thing that is great about this book is, if you're a beginner, and I totally claim to be a beginner. I am working at the beginning of my spiritual journey and understanding what a lot of these terms mean. And I like this book because she actually gives you a definition for self-love. And self-love is different for everybody, but what she is saying is exactly true, and it can be true for everybody. So she says
it's action. It's action.
Self-love is an action, and you practice it every time you look within yourself, listen to your heart, and honor what you hear. Self-love is what allows you to bring balance to your life and your world. You honor your own needs, desires, and choices. And this is what I like the most: giving them at least as much attention as you would those who are close to you. So, like what Elizabeth's talking about and what she's saying with her clients that she works with, and that they're not dreaming big enough. Think about your kids. Think about, like, what would you want for your kids? What would you want for your mom? You're not going to be like, I just want my kid to live paycheck to paycheck. No. You want to leave a legacy for your kids so that they have it better than you did. And
And if you need help dreaming bigger, like, please get with me.
We got
for,
this.
for free. I will help you dream bigger. Now,
But-
planning it all out, I do charge for that. But to help you just dream bigger, I gotcha. But yeah, and I think that really says like your intuition.
Yes.
And this is where it like really hits me, because women have always been told we are crazy.
Yes.
Because
There's
of
a
our
word.
Intuition.
There's a word for it called
Yeah, you could call
hysteria.
it a witch.
That,
You're like
that women were put into they were put into mental institutions with hysteria, which literally broken down is like feminine crazy. And that
because you'd be like,
put
no,
away
I
for that.
feel really strongly about this, or like I have a feeling. You have to listen to those. And as a yoga therapist, I will tell you, like, I see so many diseases, so many autoimmune diseases. I see so many like physical pains start to show up in women because they are ignoring their intuition. They are not listening to the feelings inside of them.
Yes.
And they will manifest in different forms. And this is scientific. It's more that cutting edge science that a lot of people still don't believe, but there is science and research to support it, which baffles me. Why people don't believe it? I'm like,
I love that it's new and modern, but it's really old
not.
and ancient.
I mean, this was in the Vedic text, which is over 5,000 years old.
Yeah.
And we're proving it with science, and yet people still don't believe it. Like, I'm like, there's Harvard case studies, multiple, that says you can alter and turn on and off your genetic like dispositions, that you can alter your DNA through meditation.
Yeah.
There's Harvard research studies, multiple, that are proving this. Yet I will tell someone that and hand them a study and they still won't believe it.
It's crazy. It totally, and there's a saying, and now that you guys are in the tribe, you will know that I'm a quote person. I'm a word person.
Yes, she is my quote person.
There's a saying that says, if you don't take time off to take care of your body will make you.
And this is why I do hypnotherapy.
If you don't choose a time to relax and to take care of yourself, your body is going to choose for you. And let me tell you, it's going to pick the most inconvenient time that, because you didn't plan it. Your body's doing it for you. It doesn't care what you have planned. It doesn't care where you're going, what you're doing. Nope. It's just going to be like, well, she's not taking care of me, and something is going to come up. It happens
and so
all the time.
this is the burnout, and this is the burnout I'm talking about. So with hypnotherapy, so as a therapist, I practice hypnotherapy and yoga therapy for my clients, aside from business, which we intermingle all of that anyways. But if you are so exhausted and you want to say no, but you're saying yes, and you're going, and I've been here before, I would love to just be in a car accident so that I could be in a hospital bed and I wouldn't have to do anything. I have been this busy before, and I know there are other women that have been this busy before too. And
or where you think that you want to have if you want to have an injury that would keep you in bed for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
It's not as fun as it sounds.
No, but when you're so burnt out and you're so exhausted that you're actually like thinking these thoughts, suddenly you forget that you were thinking that thought when it actually happens. And then when it actually happens, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening to me. And it's like, girl, didn't you just pray that you could get out of this? Didn't you just think multiple times how you wish you could be sick? Or it's like you want to go ask for a raise at work, and you're thinking, I'm not worthy of this. I'm not worthy of this. Oh my gosh, I can't ask. I'm going to be sick. And then suddenly you get sick the day before and you're like, I can't believe I got sick. I was supposed to go ask for my raise. And then you blame it on being sick, but really it was you that was thinking it.
You manifested that, baby.
You manifested it.
The universe gave you what you wanted.
And I am not saying it in any way to make you feel guilty. I am saying it to make you aware how powerful you are.
Mm-hmm.
Your thoughts are so powerful. And this is why hypnotherapy works.
Yes.
This is why meditation works. Like, you don't even need me. Like, I've got plenty of free meditation stuff. Go check it out. Because this is your right. This is your brain. Like, I'm glad to get on here and tell you all about this. Because the more and more you can sit with your mind and be okay with hearing those thoughts, get to know those thoughts, recognize those thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
I said in the video earlier, like, I made myself some coffee yesterday and I was just going, I am so tired. I am so tired. Like, I am not going to be able to make it through this day. And I just kept repeating that, like, unknowingly. And then I caught myself doing it. And I was like, oh my gosh, of course I'm not going to have any energy. I keep telling myself I don't have any energy.
Yeah.
So I had to switch that. And it was a little hard and a little awkward at first. I'm not going to lie. Like, but it was like, I'm getting energy. The more, every sip I take of this coffee, I'm getting more and more energy, and I'm getting more and more focused, and I am turning this day around, and I'm going to be so proud of myself at the end of the day because I turned it around, because I caught that thought. And suddenly I started having this like really pumped up conversation with myself.
Mm-hmm.
And before I knew it, I was putting the exercise bike together. I was getting on there. I was doing all these things. Like, you are powerful.
And that's something that you can
listen.
implement. You can implement that immediately. You don't need any special equipment. You don't need any special training. What she's saying is absolutely right. And Heather Ash Amara, the author of the book, totally mimics that and says, notice when you are saying, I should do this. I need to do this. I would do this.
And then let's also add in the never and always.
Right. So she's saying that when you use those words, you are not being accepting of who you are and where you are in the present moment. So you aren't experiencing the wisdom of the presence that's inside of you if you can stop and listen. Now, she also says that self-love and self-rejection cannot live together. So that means that you can't be, oh, I love myself, I'm being compassionate and graceful, and then on this side, I hate myself because I'm fat and I ate 3 chocolate chip cookies for dinner. No, like, they can't live together.
Ate some cookies right before I got on.
I did too. My husband baked me some chocolate chip cookies and they was delicious.
Oh yes, she has an amazing baker of a husband.
I have an amazing husband, period.
He is amazing.
Even if he didn't cook. But yeah,
I feel honored just to know that he's in my life too.
I love it. I love it. But like, that self-love, you, and what Elizabeth said is totally true, is that you are manifesting things you don't want by just thinking about things you don't want. So the universe,
and this is not some secret play.
This is not a secret. This is not a secret. This is all free wisdom advice that if you tell the universe, I don't want cookies, I really don't want cookies, I don't ever want to eat cookies again, all you're going to think about is cookies. That is all that's going to happen. But if instead you turn it around to be like, you know what? I love making healthy choices. It's so easy for me to make healthy choices. Those types of affirmations turn around your view without you having to do anything. You didn't pay anybody. Nobody's hearing you. You didn't have to write it down in a journal, even though journaling is amazing. But like, you didn't have to do anything except talk to yourself and be like, you know what? I'm recognizing that what I'm saying could manifest in something I don't want. Or I'm not being true to myself and accepting of who I am. So let's turn it around into something that makes me accepting of what's going on.
Like,
or
you,
that.
Yes, you have your own inner life coach.
Yes.
inside
Everyone
of you.
does. Mhm.
Just take the time, practice listening to it. It's
Yes.
not always easy. The more you've buried it
Ugh.
and suppressed it, it might
It's
take a little
hard.
longer. But it's there. It's possible. Okay, Leo
It's
wants
so-
to say hi.
Oh, hi Leo.
We're
But
on the
you
screen.
You do. Like, every single person does have this little, like you said, has this little help, this little life coach inside of you. And how great is it to know and
How's it
feel
not going to the
that all of the wisdom and everything that you need is already inside of you. You're just needing to find a way to access it. It's not that it's nowhere and you don't know where to find it. It's already in you. Now we got to figure out where it is, and we got to be able to tune it in. That's all that is. And it sounds a whole lot harder than what it really is. It's being present in the moment and being aware. And it's not beating yourself up, but hey, it still happens. Like, me and Elizabeth, we're not perfect. And I totally beat myself up all the time. But the difference now is that when I do that, I'm like, oh, like, I don't want to treat myself like that. I'm a goddess, y'all. Like, I don't want to treat myself like that. I'm going to be like, oh, let's think about it in another way. Like, I kind of use it like a game. Like, I love words. So, like, the quotes and everything, I love words. So it's like, what's another word for this? How can I spin this in a positive way? It's you're marketing yourself.
Again, if you check out the Yoga Sutras course too, I'll talk about, like, what is the opposite thought.
Yes.
Yeah. And just to really hit home on this as we wrap this up for tonight, like, abundance comes from abundance. Whole comes from whole. You are whole. Everything you need is already there.
Yes.
You are not broken. You are never broken. No matter what anyone does to you, says to you, yourself or someone outside of you, you are never broken. You might be a little discombobulated, but you are not broken.
Right.
You are whole. You came from wholeness. You are whole. You might have forgotten, and you just need to remember.
Yep.
And that's one of our goals with this wisdom circle, is for you to remember that you are whole, to remember that you are enough, to remember that you are worthy, to recognize and to turn that light switch on so that you can see it.
Yes.
Because right now it's like there's the light switch turned off. That's all.
And to remember, again, I'm quoting her. This is all from the book, The Warrior Goddess Way, that we're going to be talking about for the next couple of sessions that we have. But the real you, and this is who I had a whole trouble finding, but the real you is a perfect blend of spirit and matter, a sacred dance of energy embodied in form. You are already divine. You are already sacred. You are already perfect, just the way you are right now. Just like Mr. Rogers used to tell you every day at the after school special, I love you just the way you are. Yes, like, we as women need to tell each other, I love you just the way that you are. Yeah. And we shouldn't be scared to say that to each other, that you are we are all in this all together, and that all of us are sacred and all of us are divine. All of us have a purpose, and all of us should, if we could just infuse more kindness and compassion, not only to others, but to ourselves, how much wonderful of a place it would be. And that's what this group is about. This group is about having a whole pack of women that are cheering you on, encouraging you, and not letting you forget that you are a divine goddess already. and that
Yes.
you should respect yourself and others should be respecting you for the amazing goddess that you are right now.
Yes. And if you have a fancy dress or a fancy purse or fancy earrings that are sitting in the back of your closet and you're not wearing them because you don't think you're worthy enough, girl, I want to start seeing photos of you wearing them, because if you feel good when you wear them, then wear them.
Yes.
But if you
Yes.
feel good wearing your sweatpants, wear those too. I want women to start feeling confident, because confidence is what radiates.
Yes.
And anything that you're doing that is diminishing that or dulling it, girl, let your light shine.
Yes. The world needs your light. That's why
Yes.
you're here. There is something that you are bringing that no one else is bringing. You are needed. And I think that that's incredible. And I hope that me and Elizabeth can help empower you to know that you have got all the power that you need, all the wisdom that you need already inside of you. And your job is to own it and give it away to others. That's it. That's it.
So thank you all so much for joining us, whether you are watching this live or replay. We cannot wait to have more of these circles. And of course, they will be in person once in person is safe. But for now, we've got them online, so you can watch the replays too. You can invite other women to join the group by all means.
Yes.
Build up our tribe of women who you think need to hear this or also preach this. Like, we want everyone in here. Lots of opportunities. This is our free group, and we still want to party it up in here. And then we also have our membership group, where we'll be diving into things a little more. There's yoga and meditations and crystals and aromatherapy and journaling, lots of journaling prompts and mastermind groups. So we've got a lot going on within our membership group too. So we hope that you can join us there at some point. If not, that is totally fine. We will be still offering lots to you in this group, and we still want to get to know you. So by all means, don't think that you need to be hiding. Like, we want comments. If you find a quote and you want to post it in the group, post it.
Oh, yes.
Larissa wants to see them now.
I want to know.
But like, or if you're having a struggle, or if you're having a win, you can post those in the group too. That's what this is about. So we're available for you. Our purpose, we've already made that plenty clear. But you know, like, we try to support women, and we hope that women can support us too, to keep the lights going and hopefully get our own facility going once COVID's over, so that we can host these live in a beautiful space. That is also one of our goals. Larissa makes incredible PDFs and workbooks and artwork. So if you want to reach out for her, if you need any support in that area, I do hypnotherapy, yoga therapy, business coaching. So I really help with people with abundant mindset and getting into flow, whether it be through yoga or mindset in your business, whatever it might be. We can iron out a lot in 1 hour.
Yes, for sure.
You want to iron out some purpose for your business or your niche or anything like that, I can definitely help with that as well. But yeah, and if you're not sure, like, consultations, hell yeah, we do consultations. First of all, we just want to get to know you.
Yes. We want friends, guys. Like,
we need more friends.
We just want to be able to recommend you guys as much as we recommend each other. Like, Elizabeth's got the lockdown on all of this. She is a wealth of knowledge. I'm telling you, every time that we have a discussion, I'm like, oh my God, like I learned something incredible every single time. And we want to be able to be like, hey, I know somebody that does this. I know somebody that does that. We want our tribe of women everywhere.
Yeah,
we want you everywhere.
And I do, like, I try to do at least twice a month, like, I'll be like, hey, where's some women that are selling this, or where's some women that sell that? Like, I just, like, today, this was my payday Friday that I have set aside, and I purchased some, like, fingernail art and some lipstick from some mamas that are, you know, that have their own little businesses going. So I try to support women as well. So I encourage everyone to try to do that. Like, if you can, hit up, you know, you need some lipstick, go find someone that's selling it, like, individually, instead of just being lazy and going to the store. Not saying I don't do that sometimes too, but I try to be intentional,
Yes.
right? If you know you need something, instead of like, oh, I need some art for this wall, like, instead of just going to Target, like, go seek out some artists. Like, gosh, I went to Target I was just browsing through the art area because I'm always curious what they got. And it was like $50 to $100 for an art piece at Target. I was like, I would rather pay somebody for a custom piece. So it's like, there's so much more. There's so much abundance that we can provide and get into abundance, as we also receive abundance too.
Right.
Keeping that flow going.
Keep the flow.
All right. Well, Larissa, thanks for joining me tonight. And thank you all for watching. And we cannot wait to see you more. We'll be announcing when the next one is. The game plan is to try to have them the Friday night before the full moon and before the new moon, because us women tend to feel that quite a bit.
Yeah.
You might not have paid attention to it, but you have an emotional cycle that goes with it as well.
That's a whole nother thing. But yeah,
that's a whole nother.
It's totally true.
6-month chat.
we talk about that kind of stuff in our membership group.
Yeah.
Like telling you why you feel like crap during those times of the month, or why you wake up and you're like, I just feel like weird today. Like all those things, that's what we talk about. And we talk to each other, support each other through it, and then tell you why it's happening. Elizabeth knows it all. I'm telling you, she really does.
I know a lot because I read nonstop. I am not an avid Netflixer like many people. I am an avid spiritual reader and writer and meditate, and I learn a lot through my meditation too. But I'll go into my story another night. It's an interesting one. I'll give you that. But all right, well, we're signing off for tonight. Leo, you say bye. Bye. No,
bye, guys.
He doesn't want to get on. All right. Bye.
Bye.